Taurus-Gemini Cusp Collective. Welcome back to Cusp of Roses. For your general message, reading, energy check-in to the cosmos, we're just going to see what planets, what transits, what houses, what aspects might be supporting you in the now moment. Let me go ahead and forgot to get your incense rolling before I hit live. So hold on one second. Okay. I hope that this live finds you in the highest vibration possible. Thank you guys, as always, for all the love and support you show here on my channel. Through your likes, through your comments, through your shares and subscriptions. It truly does mean so much to me, and I thank each and every one of you for that support. All right, Taurus Gemini, we're going to get into this reading. I do ask that you take some time for gratitude while I'm shuffling up this deck. And you can do that through affirmations, intentions, prayer, meditation, maybe breath work, a moment of silence or stillness, or a combination of any of those methods that feel right for you in this moment, okay? I'm going to do the same, and then we'll get into, we'll get into your messages, yeah. This deck is ready to talk for you guys, okay? So, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Holy Spirit, the Ascended Masters, my Ascended Ancestors, and all holy angels, thank you so much for being here with me and with the Taurus-Gemini Cusp Collective of Energy here on YouTube for their general messages and energy check-in. For whatever planets, whatever houses, whatever transits and aspects might be supporting them in the now moment, I thank you so much, Divine, for clearing my energy and allowing me to channel the most important messages regarding that cosmic energy. And I thank you for the clear guidance, your protection, your mercy, your grace, and your support, always and forever. And so it is. All right, I'm going to do 3 solid shuffles here, Taurus Gemini, and we'll get started. I hope Sagittarius season has been treating you well thus far, as well as December being nice to you, hopefully, okay? But let's get into this energy. Let's see what you got going on. Thank you so much, Divine. What cosmic energy is here supporting Taurus Gemini? Okay. You have Saturn. Okay. Saturn connected to Capricorn energy. Vibration is 6 in this deck. It's all about revealing the truth. Going through cycles to learn truth, to accept truth, to hear truth, right? We also have the 9th house energy, Sagittarius energy, vibration of 33 in this particular deck, but it is all about faith, expanding your faith, diving deeper into your faith, right? Really having to step out on faith and activate faith in a more day-to-day basis for some of you, or explore what faith really means to you, okay? Can I have one more cosmic energy for Taurus Gemini? Yeah, you got 3rd house and messages. So there definitely might be some conversations happening here. Whether you're initiating them, others are trying to initiate them with you, okay? It's a vibration of 27, breaking down into a 9. 33 is a master number, so we won't be breaking that down. But the 3rd house being connected to Mercury and Gemini, 9th house being connected to Jupiter and Sagittarius, and then having Saturn here, which is also 10th house and Capricorn energy. There's a lot of messages of truth here, whether, again, Taurus Gemini, the truth needs to be coming from you, or the truth will be received by you. Either way, it does feel like someone's faith is in question. Whether they are a believer anymore or not, whether they feel connected to a divine source or not, whether these messages require you, Taurus Gemini, or someone may be connected to your energy, to have a certain level of faith. to have a certain level of trust in one's own connection to the divine, again, with the messages that are coming through, if they are coming from the divine, to trust what you're being shown, right? Through that third eye, through your dream space, through whatever language you've built to communicate, okay? And what I mean by that is, you know, you can communicate through numbers. That's why I always point out the numbers, because some people really get a lot of messages from that. Whether it's lyrics in a song, there is some sort of truthful communication that needs to happen here or will be happening, Taurus Gemini. Some of you, this truth might show you how unstable or unstable you are in your own faith. Meaning whatever this truth might be might uproot what you had as an idea of what faith is. So it does feel like there might be like a reinvention or a revolution or some sort of reconfiguration with what faith actually means to you. How do you act in faith on a day-to-day? Maybe this is switching religions or spiritual practices for some of you based on a truth that's illuminated. Some of you are starting to see divine truths, things that have been hidden in plain sight for some of you, that will only increase your faith. The ninth house is also about increasing, because again, it's Jupiter. Jupiter being the biggest planet in our immediate solar system, right? It has the most gravitational pull and weight. But it also is very expansive. It's airy. It's gas, right? It expands and contracts, but truly it's abundance. It's the planet of luck and fortune. Some of you, quite simply, might benefit from a personal reading. It doesn't have to be with me as a reader. It could be with a reader that you've either been to before, or again, just because there might be messages that are decoded, and they're giving me that word decoded. Something that you might be trying to figure out here, Taurus Gemini, might you might find counsel and or support in decoding that energy with someone who works in faith. And this, again, doesn't have to be a tarot reader. It could be someone who, again, works with your religion or your church or a community group, but someone who you trust their faith and or you feel connected to that energy with them, because it does feel like the messages that come from that session might reveal a lot of truth here that you need to hear. Okay. All right, so again, for my number people, we have Saturn in the vibration of 6. We have the third house, Mercury, Gemini energy with the vibration of 27, breaking down to a 9. And then we have master number 33. So your root energies here for this reading are 6, 9, and 33. You might benefit from looking up or researching what those numbers mean. You might also find some more confirmation, okay, through those messages. Thank you so much, Divine. Please tell me more about Saturn, the third house, and the ninth house for Taurus Gemini. Tell me more about Saturn, the third house, the ninth house for Taurus Gemini cusp energies here on YouTube. What do they need? What is this truth? What are the messages? And what's this faith? Okay. Some of you, okay, before I even get into this, some of you, there might be, again, whatever the messages are, whatever this truth is, it might lead you to a faith practice. So if you don't identify with being grounded in a faith-based practice or a religion or some form of spirituality, there might be a truth that's revealed or a message that comes across that leads you to a faith practice or spiritual practice that resonates with you, or that can offer extra support and guidance through whatever you might be facing in the now moment. Okay. Thank you so much, Divine. What's this truth? What truth is Saturn bringing for Taurus Gemini? Yeah. You have the 10 of Wands. So the truth is either something that you're carrying or holding on to. Tell me more about this Ten of Wands. What's in regards to this truth? What's the truth here for Taurus, Gemini? Someone might be overwhelmed, feeling like they're taking on too much, carrying too much, overloaded with too much, whether that's too much energy from other people, maybe too much responsibility. Maybe that's the truth, right? That it's hard to face all that you have on your plate right now. What's this truth? Five of Wands. So interestingly enough, cutting the Ten of Wands down to the 5. Yeah, Ten of Wands would say with the Five of Wands following to clarify that there's a lot of energy, there's a lot happening right now for you, Taurus, Gemini, that almost feels, and not even almost, that does feel overwhelming. Too much to carry, even though you're doing your absolute best, right? None of those wands have fallen on the floor. None of those energies have lacked, but it is spreading yourself a little bit thin, to where I don't necessarily feel like you have the energy to actually focus on and work through or find solutions to certain challenges. Because the Five of Wands is all about challenge. It's about finding resolution through pulling away from drama, pulling away from conflict, stepping outside of the situation and looking in. This could be you, Taurus, Gemini, getting caught up in other people's drama, or just having a lot of chaotic energy surrounding you and feeling overwhelmed by having to kind of combat it all, or, you know, people pulling you in multiple different directions here, or you feeling like you have to be, you know, this person's advocate, that person's advocate, then you got to say something over here, then you got to, it just feels a little bit chaotic, okay? Tell me more about the Ten of Wands and the Five of Wands for this truth from Saturn for Taurus, Gemini, Divine. Thank you. Seven of Wands, all fire. Some of you, your Saturn could be in a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. If you don't know your natal chart, there are links in my description box for you to have access to that for free. So make sure you check that out. Learn all that you can about those energies and those placements and your aspects. Some of you don't feel protected, or are looking for protection in some way, or someone's asking you to protect them. I'm also getting this energy where there is a truth on your heart here, Taurus, Gemini, but it's almost like you're willing to carry it to the grave. Fighting tooth and nail to keep this truth guarded and protected, but not necessarily realizing that it is a weight. Or maybe you know it's a weight, but again, it's a weight you're willing to carry for some of you. Okay, what's the overall message here for Saturn in this truth for Taurus, Gemini? Thank you so much, Divine. Nymph of Swords, exactly. Some communication here, some truth, something that's been seen. But here's the thing with the Page of Swords. Whatever this truth is, whatever this communication is, the Page of Swords says that the full picture hasn't been seen yet. So because this is childlike energy, this would be like, for an example, okay, this would be like a child eavesdropping on a conversation between their parents, but only getting a snippet of what was said that paints a whole different picture than the actual context of the conversation. I hope that makes sense, Taurus, Gemini. I just heard a gift of truth, but it's almost also too out of the mouth of babes. So there could be a child or a younger energy that speaks something, says something, shares some sort of observation that highlights all of this conflict with the Five of Wands, this being guarded with the Seven of Wands, or feeling the need to protect, and this Ten of Wands energy. Interesting. Watching. Someone either watched something, and it feels like a child. Like, it does feel like a young child is seeing maybe a lot of conflict. And I do feel like if this is a child, and maybe this is your child or a child that you're aware of that is in an environment that is a bit chaotic with all this fire, right? That there's this need, or there's this desire, or this want to protect that child from what might be happening. So if you're the parent, it's going through some sort of chaos in between you and your partner, or, you know, the child's other parent, right? Or the environment, or whoever's the caretaker, or just the adults in the situation having some form of conflict that a child is witnessing. I want to pull one more. Let's just pull one more. Tell me more about this Nymph of Swords. What's this child energy for the truth? Thank you so much, Divine. Please clarify this Nymph of Swords. Yeah, awakening. Judgment. So the truth that this Nymph, this page energy speaks, calls judgment on a particular situation. So where this could also be where, you know, guardians or the people around this energy, or maybe around you, Taurus, Gemini, take it how it resonates, okay, thought they were doing a good job of protecting or keeping certain energy or chaos away from someone, when in fact that someone has been observant of it, is aware of it, and will speak to it soon, or has already, which was going to force judgment, a judgment call on all those involved, an awakening, an awareness. Oh, right? That it does feel like a child. The child's more observant than we thought. They know more, they hear more, they've seen more than we thought. So, others of you, if this has nothing to do with like an actual child, this would be Saturn bringing in a truth to you, awakening that energy of needing to have a new mindset around whatever the energy that you're carrying, or whatever you're guarding or protecting, or whatever you feel like you have to fight against. It's almost like looking at it from a different point of view, or getting, like I said, that the context. That context piece seems important too. And so the divine is either calling judgment on you, Taurus, Gemini, saying you're carrying way too much Ten of Wands, getting, or too connected to drama, it's too getting caught up here in some way, shape, or form, and you need to protect yourself, Seven of Wands. Okay. And I feel like as we move into messages here, the third house, whoever Saturn is working through to deliver that message, it does feel like a person or something that you connect with regularly, is trying to offer you that new point of view, or that new perspective, or again, will speak to what you're already kind of feeling. And that's how you know it's a message or communication from the divine. Okay. Tell me more about this third house energy and messages. What are the messages coming forward for Taurus, Gemini? What messages does Taurus, Gemini need to look out for? Hierophant, the mystic in this particular deck. Really the upholder of the faith practice, right? This is considered priest energy. Tell me more about the mystic here for this message. So like I was saying, whether this is a need to get counseling, Taurus, Gemini, from someone who is a part of your faith system, or connected to your faith system, or a priest in your church, or someone that you trust, okay, to guide you here. This is seeking wisdom and guidance, or at the very least, whatever the message is coming from, it's offering a key of wisdom to get you through whatever this chaotic energy might be, okay? Tell me more about the mystic for the messages. What's going on with these messages, divine? What else for Taurus, Gemini, cusp? 9 of Cups. Messages about your happiness or your lack of commitment, because the Hierophant could also be commitment. Maybe there's a lack of commitment to your own happiness here. The 10 of Wands would speak to that self-sacrificial energy. Everyone not being able to say no, not being able to set boundaries, not being able to put protective guards around, again, your own happiness. What fills you up? What makes you happy and content? Feeling like you're putting yourself on the back burner for other people's wants and needs here. Tell me more about the mystic and the 9 of Cups. 4 of Swords, right? There's a need for peace. There's a need for silence. There's a need to be alone. There's a need to heal here with the 4 of Swords. There's also a need to reflect. To reflect on what you really want here with the 9 of Cups. What do you really want out of this situation, out of whatever life, okay? Take it how it resonates, okay? Someone needs to spend some time reflecting on what it is that they actually want and desire, what truly makes them happy. And now that's shining a light on that 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands. It can be in that combination, kind of like a people-pleasing energy, and this is no judgment, okay? Even though the judgment's here. Taurus, Gemini, we all go through cycles of that, especially based on how we were raised, your attachment styles, all of that good stuff, okay? But there is a need to kind of reflect here and, again, set some sort of boundary here, Taurus, Gemini, where you're creating or carving out the time to really reflect on what you want and really think about it. Because with this 4 of Swords, it's that 3 of Swords energy, some form of betrayal, heartbreak, disappointment, things not being what you thought it was, thinking that you know the truth and then finding out a different truth, right? It's making peace with that with the 4 of Swords. Tell me more about this 4 of Swords energy for messages. 9 of Swords. So there is some anxiety about that. And maybe that has to do with feeling like you don't have enough time for yourself, and or taking the time to reflect somehow brings out more anxiety, or will highlight where your anxieties are, your worries, your concerns, your doubts, your fears, overthinking. Some of you might be even feeling like, okay, I've tried to meditate so many times, I've tried to sit in stillness and reflect, but my mind keeps racing. So trying to figure out how to turn that off. But here's the thing, you don't turn off the mind. You can't tell the brain to not do something that it's naturally built to do. That's not how that works. All you have to do, Taurus, Gemini, is be an observer of your thoughts. Don't judge them, don't criticize them, don't critique them. Just take note of what's coming up in those moments of silence and stillness. So for some of you, it might benefit you if you start writing those thoughts down. When you feel overwhelmed, when your brain feels like it's moving 10 miles a minute, stream of consciousness. Just get out every thought that comes to your head. Doesn't have to be neat, doesn't have to be perfect, not at all. It could be scribble, right? But just really writing it all out. And then after you feel like, okay, I've got it out, comb through it. And only take the truth, the messages, the thoughts that feel best for you. that align with your own happiness, right? That keep you supported in self. Because maybe what you realize is a lot of those fears and anxieties are rooted in maybe some faith, some sort of faith system or belief system. Well, according to this faith, me thinking that means that I'm this and I'm that and it's bad, and that's causing more stress, more worry. Okay? What's the overall energy here for the third house messages? Ooh. 6 of Wands. Right. So this is definitely something that you can conquer. You can conquer this anxiety. You can conquer this worry. You can overcome the fears. You can overcome the doubts. You can find peace with that overactive mind or overthinking. And that might actually be the way I said, doing the stream of consciousness. For whoever this will resonate for, might actually be the saving grace for you in this situation. Because keeping all of those thoughts in your head can really bog down more than just your body, your immune system. It can really affect you, right? It all starts in the mind. So freeing that from your mind gets it out on paper so it doesn't have to live in your head. And then you can see it, and then you can compartmentalize it. Then you can break it down. You can formulate your own views and perspectives from what is coming up. Right? Maybe there might even be a pattern, but again, I do feel like that method might offer you some success here, a victory. Okay? Over whatever this conflict is, or help you sort through it to find a solution. The 6 of Wands can also be a solution. So it's almost like if you're searching for a solution, searching for an answer, it's already in your head here, Taurus-Gemini. You just have to sit still enough to listen and sort through all the other thoughts to find it. Okay? All right, thank you so much, Divine. Please tell me more about the 9th house and faith for Taurus-Gemini, and then we will end your reading. If you've enjoyed this so far, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I thank you so much for that. And for your support here on my channel. 9th house. Yeah. The Fool. A new beginning. Fresh start. Potential. Beautiful energy. Some of you where, let's say you are very deep in a faith practice, and you don't have to be, right? But it feels like that expansion I was talking about earlier, digging deeper into the faith, so not taking it just on surface level, but really researching it, really studying it, really figuring out the context, especially when it comes to religion, Taurus-Gemini. For some of you, context with biblical text or spiritual text is so important for how you can understand what's actually being said, what those words actually mean, because it's context that often is missing. And it almost feels like once you study the context, learn the context, research the context, those words, those ideas, those spiritual laws, all of that will start to feel less restrictive and more expansive. Restrictive here with Saturn. Expansive here with the 9th house. Jupiter. There's a lot more to learn. There's a lot more to see. There's a lot that's still unknown. There's a lot of potential here. Okay? And it's potential to discover more, not only just about this religion or this practice or your faith or who you are as a spiritual being. Right? But really, again, about what actually aligns with what feels best for you. What makes you feel happy and content and free. Some of you, it's looking for freedom in a restrictive system. And for some of you, that's a faith-based system. And it's not, I'm not saying here to abandon your faith and abandon your religion. Absolutely not. It's just study it deeper than just the surface. There's so much more beyond just top layer. Okay? Tell me more about this Fool. What's this new beginning in faith? And that's what I was picking up too, right? That some of you, whatever this truth is, whatever you come to learn, or these messages might renew your sense of faith. New beginning, the Fool energy, right? Some of you, it's just as simple as connecting with spiritual energy or laws or ideas or philosophies that uplift you, as opposed to restrict you or make you feel less about yourself. Okay? Six of Cups. Peace, harmony, internal balance, nostalgia. Some of you, for some of you, Taurus Gemini, you could have been raised up in a faith practice or a religion that maybe for a time you maybe strayed away from, or kind of took some time away from, or just, fell off the wagon that was moving or that you were placed on, right? And again, through the research, through digging deeper, you might find that you're reconnecting with that faith practice or that spirituality or that religion. So this would be, again, reconnecting with your childhood. Six of Cups. Making peace with it. Like I said earlier with this Page of Swords, where someone saw something but didn't get the full context. There could have been a lot of internalization around faith, around religion, around God, around spirituality that was internalized based on a small view or a little piece of information that wasn't the big picture. Do you see what I'm saying? That then molded and kind of formed into who you are now, and it just feels like the divine is ready to kind of free you from that self-restriction for some of you. Restricting yourself. Three of Swords. Yeah. Free you from the heartbreak. Free you from the sense of betrayal. Okay. Free you from some sort of pain. It does feel like there's pain connected to this. And that could just play into the chaos. I'm not going to get too deep into that, okay? For those of you that it resonates with, you'll know what I'm talking about. There was definitely some form of heartbreak or some form of betrayal felt. Some of you maybe even felt betrayed by God as a child, or felt forgotten, or done wrong in some way, shape, or form. That made you be a little bit in opposition to spirituality or religion, or the idea of God, or the concept of God in general, or faith in general. Okay? But it does feel like this ninth house energy is offering you a new beginning, a fresh start, to almost kind of pick up where you left off before this heartbreak happened, before the disappointment, before the betrayal, before whatever that disconnect was. Tell me more about this Three of Swords with the faith in the ninth house for Taurus Gemini. Yeah, revolution. I felt like I said that in the beginning. Having a revolution in your faith. Changes. This is the Tower. This is the Tower. So this could even be, and this is just an example, right? Growing up under some religion or faith practice, or, being in a very strict environment where the people who were enforcing these spiritual laws and rules weren't necessarily upholding them. Do you see what I'm saying? And so it's like, well, why are you telling me to do that when you're not even doing it? So it's something like that, which caused a disconnect or a rift based on what you were seeing from the people who were teaching you or bringing you up into this faith base, this tradition, the Hierophant. So this Tower moment is realizing what caused the initial rift and tearing that down within you, and then offering you a new beginning to build something new, a new tower of faith, a new grounding. Okay? From a space of peace, though, that seems very important. So where whatever this connection to your faith didn't settle right with you or sit right in your soul or your spirit, it's now having that mended. Now being able to build your faith, connect with the divine from a place of peace. Not heartbreak, not pain. Okay? So huge tower and transformation when it comes to your faith in this season, whenever you define this. What's the overall message here for the 9th house for Taurus, Gemini? Okay. Ace of Cups. Yeah. That you're loved no matter what. You're loved no matter what, Taurus, Gemini. That's unconditional from the divine. Right? And through your relationship with the divine, however you choose to build that back up, it's learning how to offer that same unconditional love to yourself, which stems from forgiveness, compassion, understanding. Okay? So, and I'll just see this, it's like working from a space of where you already feel less than, but now realizing that you're worthy of that connection. Do you see what I'm saying? This would be the less than feeling. Some part of who you are, what you've done now has disconnected you and severed this. It's like, it was a bit extreme. I'll say that. That's the chaos. A bit extreme. Which caused a lot of anxiety for you here, Taurus, Gemini, right? With, okay, but this makes me happy, but it goes against what I was taught and raised and the traditions. But you got to really sort that out. And like I said, for some of you, doing that research, digging deeper than just the surface or just what you're being told, do your own research. And that's what's going to offer you that new beginning, full energy and a sense of peace to overcome whatever initially caused you pain or wherever you felt that rift began. Okay? Because you got love here. The divine loves you. Absolutely. And you're worthy of that from the divine. The divine finds you worthy. You just have to start looking at yourself that way and connecting with that energy in that way. Okay? Alrighty, Taurus, Gemini, I hope that this reading served you well in some way, shape, or form. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. As always, you can check the description box under all of my videos for how to connect with me on social media, how to check out my website if you're ever interested in personal readings, how to schedule that, and all of that, pricing and all of that is on the website as well. But Taurus, Gemini, this definitely feels like a lot of work, a little heavy, a little intense, but you definitely can get through it, okay? I'm sending you all, again, so much love, strength, and courage to maneuver and navigate through your own thoughts, because that does feel like it could be kind of taxing, but it's going to be worth it in the end, that Ace of Cups. Yeah. But alrighty, Taurus, Gemini, I will see you next week for your